Okay, so today's video is probably going to be a little bit different than normal. Um, Upstate New York has decided to finally have winter again, so the last week of beautiful weather is no longer a thing. So I'm trying to find a little bit of shelter from the wind, from the cold, and I will try to do my best to keep this trail here that you can see is full of leaves from making a ton of noise. But I did want to give my final thoughts on a book that I just finished. The name of this book was Crossfire Trails, and it's by Louis L'Amour. I'm sure that pretty much anybody who's read Westerns has probably read a Louis L'Amour, and I'd also be willing to bet that anybody who hasn't read a Western probably knows who he is. He's been writing for decades. Well, he had been writing for decades. He is no longer with us at this point. But anyway, this book here was 208 pages. Surprisingly, it's an action Western set in Wyoming in 1880. And this book was released in 1954. So what we have here is our good guy is Rafe Covington. And in the beginning of this book, we see Rafe with his friend Charles Rodney, who's dying on a vessel that's bound for San Francisco. And these two have been good friends while they've been on the vessel. And basically, Charles Rodney is asking Covington to make a promise for him that he will look after his family and the 40-acre ranch that he left behind. And in return, he has written in that Covington will receive half of this ranch. So, of course, Covington, being a great friend that he is, gives him his dying wishes and promises that he will take care of that man's family and help continue to run that ranch. So then from there, our friend Charles here, he ends up passing away. The vessel ends up reaching San Francisco, and Covington ends up, I don't want to give too much away, but he ends up leaving. And some of this book is him traveling from San Francisco to Wyoming. Once he gets to Wyoming, he ends up finding Anne Rodney, who is the daughter of Charles Rodney. Again, I don't want to give too much away with the rest of the family, but he does run into Anne and tells her the story. And it's a different story than what she had been told. So she doesn't know who this guy is, and she does not believe his story. Then we have our bad guy. There's several in this book, but the main bad guy, his name is Bruce Barco. And Barco plans to marry Anne and take over the ranch. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say he's a little shady. Not really sure he's into marrying her for the right reasons. From this point, after Covington has spoke with Anne, the story goes from here with plenty of action. There's plenty of lies, plenty of deceptions, lots of gun battles, maybe a fist fight or two. Not really sure on this one. I may be getting this mixed up with the last book I read, which I will be talking about next. But yeah, basically, if this sounds like anything you'd be interested in, you'd have to read the rest of this book to find out if Covington can succeed and fulfill his promise to his dying friend. I would definitely recommend this to anybody who is a Western fan. Just trying to get around this snow here. Yeah, if you're a Louis L'Amour fan and you have not read this book, then give it a shot. I thought it was pretty good. So I enjoyed this book, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody who is a Western fan. If you have not read Louis L'Amour and you're interested in giving it a shot, again, I would definitely recommend this book. I keep all my stats and my thoughts and comments on what is it, Storygraph, and if I remember correctly, I gave this a 4 out of 5. I could check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. While researching this book, I found out that they actually made this into a movie back in 2001, and it was made for television by TNT. It starred Tom Selleck as Covington, Mark Harmon, I guess he's the NCI guy, and he was the bad guy, Barco, And then I guess there's Virginia Madsen. I'm not really sure. She played Anne, and to be honest with you, I'm not really quite sure who she is as far as an actress. Some of you may know who she is, but I was not aware. The movie premiered to 12.5 million viewers, making it the most watched made-for-cable TV movie ever until the premiere of High School Musical 2 in 2007. So that's actually pretty impressive, actually. I know Tom Selleck was a pretty big name back in those days. I guess he was doing Blue Blood up until recently, I guess, right? So yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting stat. Let's see, did I learn anything? Oh, so I also was looking up Shanghai and desertion, because I wasn't quite understanding why, if somebody is being shanghaied and they managed to escape, why they could be brought up on desertion. I wasn't able to actually find anything on this, so I don't know if this was the author just taking his liberties and making it a thing, or if there is actually such a thing. I'm really not sure how lawfully you can bring somebody up on charges when they've been kidnapped. So when I looked up Shanghai, this is what I got. I'm going to read it from what I found online. In the late 1800s, with San Francisco's growing importance as a port city, the practice of Shanghai, or kidnapping, of able-bodied men to be sailors became common. They say there are many exaggerated stories about this, but it was definitely a common thing. So, yeah, I guess Shanghai was a real thing. And I guess, according to Louis L'Amour, if you escape from being shanghaied, you could be brought up on charges. This sounds ridiculous, but I don't know. Anyway, hopefully I'm not lost here. Hopefully I'm still recording. And I guess what I'd say is if you're into Westerns, again, I would definitely recommend this book. I did find it quite enjoyable. And yeah, I think that's it for now. I may try another take on this, or I may run with this one. I don't know. We'll see how this one looks. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. And let me know if you've ever read this book or anyone or anything else from Louis L'Amour. I have one that I've already finished that I already said earlier, but I have 3 more to go. So I'll be finishing those up this month and probably giving a final thought on all of those as well. So, all right, I think that's it. I'm going to try to get down this hill without falling. I will talk to you all later. Thank you. Bye-bye.